TIFU by going to someone's apartment on the first date. A few weeks ago, I, 29F, matched with a girl, 30F, who I'll refer to as Amy on a dating app. We hit it off well, and soon moved to texting. After some spicy text exchanges, we planned a date for the coming weekend that included dinner and spending the night together doing all the things we talked about. Prior to the date, we had a discussion about things that were important to us in a relationship. Amy told me that she was okay with me being non-religious and her being Jewish, but she did want me to respect her religion and take some interest in it. However, she did not expect me to convert. I agreed that this sounded completely reasonable. This will be important later. The day of the date comes. I meet up with her, and we go up to her apartment, where I am immediately greeted by her Yorkie. And by greeted, I mean the thing would not stop charging and barking at me. This continued throughout the entire time I was there, and would get even more intense anytime I got up to move. All was going fine-ish until after dinner. We decided to play Mario Kart, and after Amy realized I was very good at it, she demanded I unlock all of the tracks for her while she sat back and watched. When I said no because I didn't want to sit there and awkwardly play video games by myself, she proceeded to have what felt like the beginning of a minor meltdown. A while after Amy composed herself, she brought up the topic of Judaism. It was then that she dropped the ultimatum that I needed to convert to conservative Judaism or else she wouldn't marry me. Amy then began to tell me that she believed interfaith marriages were basically ethnic cleansing. This was entirely contradictory to what she had told me before the date, and needless to say, I was done. At this point it was already past 1 a.m., so I decided to stay and leave immediately in the morning because I wasn't comfortable driving around that late at night. Seriously, DMV drivers are crazy enough in the daytime. So bedtime comes and I go into her room to find that it reeks of dog piss and perfume. Turns out, she's too lazy to take her crazy Yorkie on walks, so she just lets it pee on puppy pads and covers up the stench with perfume. I go to bed, disappointed that nothing went as planned that night. The next morning, which also happens to be my birthday, I wake up at around 8 a.m. She's still fast asleep, but I can't get up or else the dog will go nuts. She sleeps in until nearly 11 a.m., so I'm laying there for hours unable to move, hungry, and needing to pee. As soon as she's up, I start packing up my stuff and getting the hell out of there. But not before the dog bites me on the upper calf. I get home and check my dating profile to see she unmatched me. No major loss there. We had discussed ghosting before the date and she told me how much it's happened to her. Gee, I wonder why. So I decided to do the right thing and text her to let her know this isn't going to work out. She texts back and has the audacity to say that I'm the issue for things not working out. Screw me for not wanting to change a major part of myself to fit the mold for the type of wife she wants, right? So here I am on my birthday, reeking of whatever perfume she had sprayed all over her bed, nursing a dog bite on my leg, and not having the night I expected. Lesson learned. Never go to somebody's home on a first date. At the very least my birthday improved after that. I invited my best friend over, where we laughed over my crazy first date story and ate chocolate cake. Then for dinner, I made myself a pork chop with a butter sauce out of pure spite. TLD, my date gave me the convert to my religion or we can't get married ultimatum on the first date. I was stuck in her home the entire night. Her dog bit my leg, and I didn't get laid. You got it all out of the way in one night, not months or years. Considering the alternatives, it was mercifully brief. I can understand your thought process of sticking through this uncomfy date until you decided to A. Spend the night in a room that smelled like piss and B. Decided to lay in the bed for 3 hours because you didn't want the dog to bark? This person set off red flags to the point where you had already decided things weren't going to work out. Who cares if the dog wakes her up? Making someone uncomfortable for 10 minutes would have saved you literally hours of your life. Always choose yourself over a bad date. Happy birthday. At least you got a good dating horror story out of it. Will be a good laugh after a bit more time has passed. Leaving the house visits to the second or third date sounds a bit safer in terms of sussing the other person out. The only thing I'm not getting is, what's a DMV driver and why are they worse at night? Is it someone who works for the Department of Motor Vehicles? Go to the dog bites should never be ignored. Even minor ones can easily become infected. A while after Amy composed herself, she brought up the topic of Judaism. It was then that she dropped the ultimatum that I needed to convert to conservative Judaism or else she wouldn't marry me. Conservative Judaism allows two females to be married to each other? Never knew. In hindsight, it's probably best you didn't get laid. I'm sure that would have resulted in even more religious cookery. It blows my mind how loose and comfortable people get on the first date. I feel you so much on the pain of lying in bed in an uncomfortable environment and just waiting it out. Why did you discuss marriage with someone before even meeting? Weird. Pure spite pork chop. The real foo was staying the night after all the mishaps that occurred prior lol. But glad you're safe op and happy belated birthday. Given that she doesn't even take her dog outdoors, she obviously doesn't care about its health. So I'd definitely be going to the doctor about that bite. It's unlikely to ever have its teeth cleaned and has likely never had a dental. Is LGBTQ marriage allowed in Judaism? I know there are a lot of LGBTQ Jews but not conservative ones. As someone who is Jewish, conservative also, and for whom Judaism was important when I was dating Amy, was way off base. Judaism discourages conversions. We actually make it very hard to convert. I'm not going to detail the whole process, but suffice it to say that it's designed so that only the very serious and determined of potential converts will end up converting. Her demanding you convert pretty much goes against everything Judaism stands for. Then again, as someone who grew up with dogs, the fact that she can't be bothered to walk her dog is alarming also. Just be glad that you no longer have to deal with Amy again. Oh, and happy birthday. After only reading the title, I'm surprised you're alive. Talking about marriage on the first date? I don't understand why didn't leave immediately person facepalming male sign. Just my opinion, but girls are too agreeable or kind. I wouldn't have stayed the night or wait until she woke up either. Literally the moment she said convert I would have left. You could tell her that you are Jew-ish. I've heard that joke works really well. She would have been able to hide a lot of this crazy if you'd been out in public. So in this one case you probably did yourself a favor going to her house. Probably should have cut the date short and driven home. Though. Shame about this being on your birthday. But good stories stay with you for life. I had my share of bad early dates myself, and only missed out on my own reenactment of fear and loathing because a girl got busted with a baggie of blow. I'm not big on drugs, but boy was she. But yeah, happy birthday.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.